Okay, gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah.
So, hi, I'm Sten, this is Dak,
I'm Dak, hi.
and I'm running Super Mario World Small Only, so it's pretty straightforward. Basically, I'm going to beat this game as quickly as possible without the use of power-ups or Yoshi.
Yeah, stuck to just small Mario. The run starts out pretty standard because in most SMW runs, you don't tend to get power-ups for the first few levels anyway. And yeah, it's pretty standard platforming for the first couple levels.
Yeah, I think the hardest part of this is going to be remembering not to get them midway in Castle 1, because that's where it starts to diverge from other categories.
361? No.
Nah, not quite.
Yeah, so Mario's speed when he jumps oscillates between a few different values, and sometimes if you jump off that set of blocks and let go of the button, you'll get a 361 instead if you get the best speed, but it's pretty rare. And then this level is the first big kind of hurdle when you're learning this game because the platforming's pretty precise.
That first jump is a fair bit more difficult to learn than it looks.
Yeah. You want to run across these brown blocks, brown platforms rather. They move forward as you run on them, and so they give you a slight speed boost. It's pretty minor, but it's enough to get you 1 extra second on the game timer, so you can tell if you're doing it correctly or not.
Yeah, if you don't make an effort to run on the brown platforms, you get a 2:58 on the game timer there.
So you going for shell jump?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's small only, I have
Yeah,
to.
true.
If I can't do it here.
So there's a piece of tech that you're going to see a few times in this run called a shell jump. He's going to go for one here. Not quite, but that one barely saves any time. It just prevents you from falling in the water. But they're more important later on. Basically throw a shell underneath your own feet and bounce off it.
Yeah, there's one in a couple of stages that can save 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty key for this category. Because it's a marathon run, he's just going to go for it, and if he misses it, he'll do a different stage, but it's always fingers crossed.
Okay, don't get the midway.
Yes.
So in Super Mario World, if you get the midway, it makes you Big Mario instantly. No, nothing you can do to avoid it, and therefore we cannot get the midway in this category. Because you move slowly while on cages, you basically want to spend as little time on them as possible, but you can't avoid them completely.
And then a short little auto-scroller here. People just mess around here. You play this stage in most categories, and you have to wait for the auto-scroller, and so it's just something you get used to. But after this level, and after the boss, this run's going to diverge a bit from other SMW runs you might have seen before.
So that's World 1.
Nice quick kill on the boss as well.
Yeah. I don't know if we've got time for any donations. We've got a cutscene here, so.
Yes, we do have one donation that came in just then from Bakuman84. He gives $3.83 and says, "Good luck to Sten, and don't forget one thing, beans."
Beans.
And incentive, Metal Gear Solid Otacon, and a great big hug to Liam Hart. Thank you, Bakuman.
Thank you, Buckerman. I'm gonna need that luck here.
Yeah, so this is kind of the moment of truth when it comes to a run of this category. What determines whether it continues or not.
Yeah.
So most of the stage is pretty normal platforming, but he's going to pick up a shell a bit later and attempt to get the secret exit, which is tough to do as Small Mario. It's not really intended.
Yeah, the intention is that you either have green blocks unlocked, so you've beaten green switch.
Or you use the Yoshi in that block there.
Yeah, or you just have cape.
Alright. Nah, not quite.
Damn it. Oh!
Yeah, it's really easy to die there if you miss the shell jump. Thankfully, it means he gets another go
another
at it,
shot.
So, yeah, it might even still be faster than doing the other stage. I'm not sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was holding the up button there when I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, so to do
That's fine. I'll just grab.
Yeah, you can
this
respawn
guy.
these. Yeah, to do a shell jump, you need to essentially do a very quick, like,
That's not what I was going for. Okay, take 3.
it's all good. Yeah, so you jump, you do a very quick left-right input, and then throw the shell at the right timing, and you basically like bounce off it in the air. It's kind of complicated. I can't do them.
Okay, we're
We lost your shell.
fine. No shell jump for me,
Yeah,
I guess.
we're just doing the other stage. It's fine.
That's
You
unfortunate.
saw what he was. You kind of saw what he was going for the first time, but now we get to see the other strat.
I'm actually not confident that I'm gonna... what am I doing? This is an easy stage. What am I doing?
You can just do a big jump over.
I know. Take 4.
Just don't get over.
And if I game over here, it doesn't matter that much.
That's true. That's true.
I'm more concerned about other places.
Yeah, as you can tell, even picking up this shell
Not as easy as
quickly,
it looks.
yeah, it's a bit tough.
All right. Oh. I practiced getting past this. Okay, I'm just gonna do something that's not expected in a marathon and game over because I have 1 life and there are some dangerous levels coming
that
up.
actually makes a lot of sense. So you wouldn't normally do this, but there are plenty of points later in the run where it's possible to die,
Yeah.
and game overs can be pretty awful at certain points in this run.
Okay, so
So we're basically back to how we were before.
back to
all
the start of World 2.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend that other one didn't happen. I'll just first try shell jump now.
How long is it going to take for you to just not go for it?
I'm very stubborn.
Yeah, fair call.
Okay. No, that's not applause-worthy. Stop.
I have a bar behind my head. All right, so if he'd got the shell jump, he'd have headed up to the water level directly above where he was on the map. But instead, we're going to have to sit through this auto scroller. There is a cool little strat for beating it slightly early, though. So hopefully we can see that, and some little swag with block tubes there. There's a mushroom in that block, so he can't hit that. Or he can, but he just needs to not collect the mushroom.
I don't trust myself to not grab that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Oh dear. Of all the ways I could mess up the stage, that is not the one I expected.
That was something.
Yeah. I'd say that's never happened before, but
Yeah, it probably has.
yeah.
Alright.
So I need to restun this guy fairly quickly after he wakes up. And then I need to catch him while he's moving downwards.
Nice.
Bounce off him into the pipe.
Yeah.
Saves waiting for the sandbar thing to scroll up and down.
Yeah.
It's only a few seconds, but nice
And a
little
thing
time
to reduce the length of the auto scroller is nice.
Hmm.
Alright, so now he's back on track to where he would have been if he'd got the shell jump. And this next level is pretty normal, there's not too much to it. First screen just run through and then gonna be bouncing on some ghosts.
Yeah, so the intended path through this stage is supposed to be sort of a maze. You're supposed to enter this door and then enter another door.
So he didn't get,
And get up here.
P-speed up at the top there, so he had to do that bounce blind. You normally wouldn't need to do that, but
Yeah.
it's good to know how to.
You're supposed to take up a vine to get up there. You re-enter that room from under the floor and then you can hit a block to get a vine. Or you can just bounce on the boot.
So this might be the toughest just straight up platforming in this run. This level has no floors anywhere. You're just kind of running on small platforms and bouncing on enemies the whole time. Getting up on those clouds is luck based and it's nice to get.
That was the hard
Yeah,
part of the stage.
It's a bit easier from here on.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
I was a
close.
bit far left there. Almost bounced right into his face.
Nice.
Okay.
And you also want to optimize running on platforms that are moving forward and not running on platforms that are moving backwards. So. I'm gonna do some trickery with shells to get past the Lakitus in this stage.
They're hammer bros.
Are they?
They're
Oh, yeah,
amazing
they are.
flying
Yeah,
hammer
they-
bros.
They are, they throw hammers.
Okay.
Lakitus are in Star Wars 3.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have plenty of annoyances with Lakitu later in the run.
Yeah.
Got him.
Little snipe there. And then a quick little left-right jump to get under this guy.
Ooh!
Yeah, he got...
I slowed down a bit by
Yeah,
accident.
what happened with that enemy?
I think I just hit the duck button when I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And then didn't quite
Another
compensate
annoyance
for it.
in this category, because you're not allowed to get big, you're not allowed to hit any of the midways, so you can't get checkpoints.
There we go.
So anytime you die in a level, you have to do the whole thing again.
Yeah, I'm just going to take this safe
Yeah,
out. I say, killing myself in the pit. That's cool. Right.
you got this.
Just going to wait for that. Okay, let's not do anything silly here. Let's just
Yeah.
beat. There we go. And
Yeah, that's what
across.
he was going for. And now I've got the second castle. In categories where you're allowed to use the cape, you can skip like a big part of this level by flying up at the start there. But obviously we can't do that here. So we have to do this room, which is pretty tough. Like, it's not going to look too bad, but getting past those thwomps quickly is pretty tough.
In theory, you can do like 2 consecutive wall jumps to skip that to skip up to that pipe in the first room, but
Yeah.
I don't
Never
think
seen
any
that before.
I don't think any human has actually done that.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we want to get up to this bit as quickly as possible so that this dry bones is in the right place to bring the spring up here.
Yeah, the spring saves us a little bit of time further up the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go really fast, you can do a slightly quicker thing at the end there where you throw the spring on one of the spikes, but that's pretty risky. And then that's Morton down. So the reason we're taking this particular path through the overworld, it's not the fastest way to the end of the game. The fastest way will go to the Donut Secret House and then straight into Star World. But as Small Mario, we can't actually beat Star World 1. So we need to get to the second entrance to Star World, which is in Vanilla Dome. Star World 1 is one of the few levels that you can't beat at all with Small Mario. So we're going to see another buzzy jump here, similar to what you saw in the auto-scrolling level earlier.
Oh, didn't quite get that right.
Yeah, so he's going to take this buzzy beetle, grab him when he's falling down like that, and then time this correctly to just bounce up to this vine.
Yeah, if you catch the buzzy while he's moving downwards, it basically conserves its downward momentum so that when it wakes up in your hands, if you're in the right point in your jump, it won't kill you.
Yeah, it's really weird. It like spawns underneath you and you just bounce off it. And then this is some cool vertical movement. I'm going to try and do a shell jump here.
Not quite.
Yeah, I still take the vine, but... And then another, similar to a shell jump, but with the spring to get up to the pipe here. Thankfully, it's not the worst thing in the world. If he drops it, you can just try again. But
So springs have some interesting physics in this game. And I'm apparently just not getting it.
yeah, this is slightly more lenient than the shell jumps, but it's still tough.
Almost just...
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. You're just going to bounce when you're nowhere near the spring.
Yeah, I think they behave even more weirdly when you're Small Mario as opposed to Big or Cape
Yeah.
for some reason.
All right, so now we can enter Star World. We're in the kind of home stretch, I suppose, now. Star World 2 is just swimming, but you swim a lot faster when you're holding an object. So we grab this baby blue Yoshi at the start, and it just lets us swim a lot more quickly through the level.
I did not intend to hit down. But we're good.
You can just kind of chill out at the top of the screen here.
Yeah. And then just swim down when you need to.
Yeah, we do need to get the secret exit, all of the secret exits to progress in Star World, so can't just go through the pipe.
So Star World 3 we have Lakitu who can...
Nice.
If he throws a spiny at the wrong time, it basically makes him invincible and you just don't kill him when you want to.
Yeah.
Which is inconvenient to say the least.
Other than that, it's not too bad though. You just chuck a block up to kill the Lakitu and then ride the cloud up.
So
And then this is
this is
fun level.
I'm a little nervous about this, seeing as I'm going in with 2 lives. I think if I die, I am going to have to go and like farm in Star World 2 or something because
It starts out with pretty standard platforming. Like it's a bit tight, but nothing crazy. But we're gonna see some cool shell jumps in a second. So throw that one to hit the key block at the bottom.
this could work. Never
No,
mind.
not quite.
That's fine. Didn't
Yeah.
die.
That's still not a problem.
Ah.
Oh, so close.
Okay, I'm actually going to go and
Oh, wait.
grab some lives in Star World 2. It's going to be kind of slow, but it's going to be faster than gaming over and having to do everything again. Maybe this would have been faster if I'd grabbed Yoshi.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That'll do.
Yeah. So that should be plenty of lives to get this now.
Yeah. I believe technically the star is not banned in this category, so I don't think I broke the rules.
I didn't even think of that.
It's something
It's a
we
bit-
generally,
yeah.
in small only, you generally avoid it when you can, but I think can make some exceptions at least for a marathon run.
Alright.
Oh, okay, let's just
I'm doing
get rid
calculus.
of those. And if I gain back speed
Yeah, you
here,
get speed for this bit. Yeah,
there
you
we go. Okay, so
So again, throw this shell to hit the key block at the bottom, you can hear it, and then...
there we go.
Nice. That's probably the hardest, like, mandatory thing in this category. You pretty much have to do that.
Yeah, have to do that or some variant of it, and there isn't really
Yeah.
an easier option.
The normal like no cape strat in that level would involve getting red Yoshi, but he's not allowed in small only. So cool thing with the cage here, you can kind of jump off it early to make it through here quicker, and then door 5, you just wait for the cycle. Can't get through this straight away, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think if you have like any power up, you can save a little bit of time in this room.
Yeah, you take a damage boost. But
Still can't make it through on the first cycle, but
then dark room. Depending on your TV, this can either be awful or really easy. And then Bowser.
so the optimal fight for Bowser has cape. Unfortunately,
Yeah, but
we don't have cape,
There are
so
still, you can still do most of the same skips.
yeah,
even without.
it's just not quite as fast because if you have a cape, you can hit Bowser with the Mecha Koopas pretty much instantly as soon as he throws them.
Yeah.
Without a cape, you do have to wait for them to come down and come to you.
We're going to wait for him to throw out the Mecha Koopas. We're going to hit him with one of them, and then just kind of leave this one so that we can have one still out when the phase ends. So we wait for him to throw more, and then we still have one for the next phase and can hit him early.
So I deliberately waited before I threw the first Mecha Koopa in order to hit Bowser a little bit further to the right, because if you hit him just in the position where he throws the Mecha Koopas, he'll throw the second set of Mecha Koopas right at the left of the screen, and one of them will fall off the screen.
Yeah.
And we need that.
And then here we're going to hit, this first hit we're going to hit at a very specific time. He throws these kind of bowling ball looking things. You see one here. But then if you hit him at the right time, you can skip the second one. He would
that was
normally
good.
do a second bowling ball attack, but he's not going to do it.
Yeah, instead he'll just throw his Mecha Koopas.
And then same thing again, you keep a Mecha Koopa for the next phase.
Yeah, at the start of the next phase, we just hit Bowser, hit Bowser straight away with the Mecha Koopa, and he'll bounce 5 times instead of 8 before throwing the next set.
Another really strange, like phase skip, or skip half a phase, I suppose. So time is pretty close by.
Yeah.
So hit him straight away here.
So time will be when
bounces.
we see Peach.
Yeah. That's alright.
And time.
It's alright. Some trouble with the shell jump, but most of the rest of it was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely some issues in World 2, but
Yeah.